So look, if I was the president of the United States right now and I watched all the Republicans walk out and go home, like even a day early, I'd flat out go on TV. I'd hold an emergency meeting, invite all the networks out there, even post it online, and say, look, effective immediately because Republicans didn't want to work. They didn't earn their paycheck. They know this is what they're supposed to be doing. Because McCarthy's trying to blame Biden because Biden says, no, we're not going to lower Social Security. No, we're not going to take away veterans pay. That's what you go on TV and say, Mr. President. You go on TV and you say, effective immediately, I just signed into law taking congressional pay. And for future references, the deadline is the first deadline. And if I don't have anything signed by then, you Congress don't get paid. Even Republicans are saying that. Why are they getting paid? And they're talking about not paying America. And you make for sure you let everybody know that veterans pay is off the table. Republicans sign everything for them to go to war. Even some Democrats. That's why you got to take the Democrats' pay away. Make it fair across the board. And say that we have to pay for these mistakes other people made. It's our responsibility as a nation. And you put in a law that if I don't get anything by the second, well, I'm going to have to do things by myself. That's what you say. And you should talk about martial law, to be honest. You don't have to mean it, but you just got to mention it to put a little scare into people. Then you make a call, and you tell everybody, I've already talked to my generals. I'm asking for National Guard to make sure they're ready. Because if I have to go to martial law, because Congress don't want to do their jobs and Congress needs to be replaced, that we're still going to have law and order in this nation. That our bills are going to be paid, that we're going to keep our AAA rating. So if you Republicans don't want to work because you want to punish the poor, then you don't need a job. You go on TV, you say this. That's what you do, Mr. President. You got to sound tough, Biden. You want to run for president again, you got to sound tough. You got to go on TV, you got to hit hard. You can't talk about your father, your grandfather, when my dad did this. No, shut that crap up. Shut that stupid shit up. Go on TV and talk tough for once. Point out the damn problems. That's why you call an emergency meeting. This is one of those times we need your leadership. You're kind of failing in your own aspect too. You flat out say an emergency televised broadcast that if Congress don't want to work, you just sign a law right there and you flash it in front of them and you say you don't get your pay. You take their pay. You tell Republicans either you get back to Washington and do your job or you're not going to have a job. And you talk about how the National Guard is going to be called up to make for sure that law and order stays in this country. Because you care more about veterans and people with disabilities and making sure the bills get paid than you do tax cuts for the wealthy. That's what you got to do as a president. You got to protect America. You got to sound tough. If you can't do that, then you don't need to be running again as president. We need your leadership. We don't need to hear any more stories about your dad. We don't need to hear more stories about your grandpa, where you grew up at, where you knew so-and-so, because you go off the rocker when you do that. Go on freaking TV. Man up for once. Man up, Mr. Biden. Tell everybody what's going on. So that way they can say, hey, look, he's right. Republicans left Congress. Why should they get paid? That's what you got to be pointing out as president. If you can't do that, then you don't need to be running again. As of right now, as the next American election, even though it's almost, a year and a half away, guess what? There's nobody we're voting for. Trump ain't it. He tried to overthrow America, got a bunch of people killed. The only people who like Trump are the low IQ. Biden ain't it because he doesn't know how to talk tough. He doesn't know how to use TV. He rambles too damn much. So who in the hell is going to lead America since Congress done and went home? They took your American money and Republicans went home. And some of you are still pro-Republicans. Like Ben Shapiro. He's all about cutting taxes for the rich. He don't give a damn about the poor. When's the last time Ben Shapiro has ever held a charity or did anything for anybody other than talk about how the rich are great and the poor suck? Matter of fact, you go off a different video here, but there's a video going around about him, how he treats his employees ain't too good. Right? But the point is, Republicans don't give a damn about America, and Democrats don't know how to talk to America. We don't have any leadership in America right now. If I was president, none of this is going to go on, because Congress wouldn't have gone anywhere. Because you're damn right, I would have called 101st Airborne. They would have parachuted in Congress, and they would have barricaded everything. We just call it a deployment, some kind of training. I wouldn't have let them go anywhere. Everybody, Congress would have been forced to stay. You didn't put a bill on my damn desk that made damn sense. So why in the hell are you going away? You want to work, Congress? You don't get paid. Matter of fact, while I'm at it, when I'm signing away your paychecks, Congress is no longer allowed to have stocks. You're no longer to invest in stocks. Effective immediately, all Congress has 48 hours to sell stocks, or they will be arrested for conflicts of interest. That's what you got to do as president. You got to sound tough. You got to be tough. You got to think outside the box. You got to get the boot in the Republicans' butts. It's not enough for you Democrats to go on there and, anybody can talk tough in front of your friends. You go on stage, Republicans are gone. But you got to be tough to the American people. You got to show the American people what leadership is. As of right now, there is no leadership in America. But everybody's collecting an American paycheck, all these politicians. And it's freaking sickening. It's time for Biden to grow up. It's time for Trump to grow up. It's time for people like Ben Shapiro to grow up. It's time for the American people to grow up. And you know what's funny? You shouldn't have to wait on military support. You shouldn't have to wait on National Guard. You shouldn't have to wait on, any kind of stuff. You shouldn't have to wait on martial law. You as the American people, actually for once, use the proper protesting. You should have went to Congress and stopped Congress from leaving. That's what you should have done as America. Not violently, but that's what you should have done. You guys should have surrounded Democrats, Republicans alike, and demanded they actually work for once to get their earn their paycheck. It's not that hard. Your job, I'm sorry, Congress, your job isn't hard. Much as you hate the poor, a lot of poor are willing to work, a lot of poor do work. The few jobs that are available. So why is it you're so willing to screw America over? I love America. So why can't Biden? Why can't the Republicans? Why can't Congress love America? Where's the love, man? Shame on every damn one of you, Republicans and Democrats. You're shameful. You're scandalous. You're shameful.